champions Leeds take on Wigan, a team that's rebuilding for the future. But the Warriors have never missed out on the playoffs before. If they lose here, it could be difficult to qualify in 2005. Well, a win on Friday night for Hull against Lee. Only the second draw of the season we saw on Sky Sports at St Helens. Saints 28, London Broncos 28. Sunday's programme sees Bradford entertaining Widnes. Huddersfield are at home to Wakefield and Warrington take on Salford. The table then, and it sees Leeds now a point clear of St Helens. They'll be 3 with victory here. Hull are up to 3rd, Warrington 4th, the Bulls are 5th. London's point at St Helens means there's a 3-point gap between the top half and the bottom half of the Super League table. Wigan are in transition, but they could be as low as 8th if results conspire against them this weekend. Well, the big crowd here at Headingley being entertained by the 4th Battalion, the Parachute Regiment, who are dropping in on the big night here. It's a glorious summer's evening, big crowd, and here come the boys from the sky. Down they come. How on earth they managed to do this, I don't know, but they land almost on a sixpence, right in the middle of the pitch. It's a carnival atmosphere at Headingley. And why shouldn't it be? Because the Leeds Rhinos are playing some great stuff at the moment. They will be a little wary, though, of an understrength old foe. They haven't managed to beat Wigan twice in the Super League season since 1999, and in that year, 2 home games did the job. Well, while Leeds' sights are set on being the first team to lead the Super League table in successive seasons, Wigan are battling to maintain their record and never having missed out on those playoffs. And would you believe it, the handicappers today have given Wigan, and listen to this, a 27-point start. It is the first time in history that Wigan have ever been rated as that much of underdogs. This is the reason why, maybe, Leeds are unchanged for a 3rd week in a row. Mathers is the fullback. Calderwood, Walker, Senior and Bye. Sinfield captains the side from standoff alongside Rob Burrow. Now the forwards, Bailey, Duneman and Ward, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, McKenna and Gareth Ellis. And on the bench, it's Maguire, McDermott, Ali Lauatiti, who got 5 tries last week, and Willie Poaching. The coach is Tony Smith. Now the Wigan Warriors, Kevin Brown is the full-back. Then they go Brian Carney, Martin Aspinwall and Liam Botham, who joined the Wigan Warriors from Leeds just a fortnight ago, makes a quick return. Chris Melling is on the wing. Dennis Moran at standoff, and 19-year-old James Coyle is the scrum half. The forwards, Sculthorpe, Newton, who captains the side, and Gissay, Hanson, Tickle and David Allen. And on the bench, Jerry Siusiu, Wayne Godwin, Stephen Wild and Joel Tompkins. And the coach is Ian Millwood, of course. Well, that's the scene inside the Wigan dressing room. With the wrong combination of results on Sunday, Wigan, as I say, could be looking nervously over their shoulders at the bottom end of the table rather than the top. They could be 8th at the end of this weekend. That would be a bit of a surprise and a shock to their travelling army of supporters. But the Leeds fans, they know that they cut loose against Wakefield last week. 13 tries they scored. They won 70 points to 6 on away soil. Meanwhile, Wigan were losing at home to Hull by 24 points to 28. These two sides, remember, contested the first ever grand final. Leeds and Wigan 7 years ago, Wigan claiming their only summer era title, but recently the balance of power has shifted significantly in the direction of Leeds. And as John Innes continues to warm up the crowd here at Headingley and Wigan make their appearance on the field, it's time to talk to Steve-O about the prospects here, and it has to be tonight, Steve-O, a Leeds victory. But we saw how London shocked St Helens just 24 hours ago. Can these Wigan youngsters do the same again?
Well, they certainly get encouragement by the way that the Broncos certainly took St Helens to right to the edge in many ways. Remember, it was a late try from Talau that allowed them to get back into the game, St Helens. And I think that the way that the book is, what you're talking about in regards to 27-point start, I think that will be some sort of insult to the Wigan club And I'm sure that Ian Millwood, their new coach, would have made it quite clear that they think we are no hopers. He will be saying to them that the people out there, they are expecting. There is Tony Smith in our studio. He likes to get up high to see all the moves and how the defensive patterns are taking shape. But he was with us last night, and he knows that he cannot take this Wigan outfit. They've got to make sure that they get into it strong.
Phil Clark, have you ever known a Wigan side, as Ian Millwood is in charge, again, of course, here, have you ever known a Wigan side be ranked as such underdogs?
Do you know, not that long ago, Eddie, when on Easter Monday they travelled to the KC Stadium in Hull, they pulled off a magnificent victory over St Helens on Good Friday, but nobody gave them a chance. In fact, 40 or 50 points were expected by the Hull side to go on and win, and remarkably, they won the game. It was an outstanding performance with several of the youngsters making their debuts on that day, and again it gives them another chance to show what they can do. Very often in sport, and particularly rugby league, when some young players come in for the first time, they can really perform and just maybe play above themselves on the occasion. Whether they can do it repeatedly this season, I doubt, but for a week or two they can do it. Maybe tonight could be one of them.
Well, remember, I go back, well, barely 2 years ago when Robinson, the youngster, came on. Shocked St Helens, it was his debut. He finished up with a hat-trick. So dreams can be on display tonight. But you would have to think, Eddie, as I thought last night, that St Helens, they have to win. But Leeds have to win here, and I think they will. But I think these Wigan youngsters will give a good account of themselves.
Well, Kevin Sinfield, the Leeds captain, is about to get us underway. There's a massive crowd inside Headingley this evening. Every seat is filled on the far side. The terraces are full. And the Wigan public have come across the Pennines as well to support their team. And let's just see how it all pans out as Sinfield gets one of the glamour fixtures of the Super League season underway. And Leeds charging in from the kickoff, led by Chris McKenna. Here now is Jerome Guisset for the Wigan Warriors. Behind him, the captain, Terry Newton. Good tackling low down again by McKenna. That was Harrison Hansen who felt that. Here is Danny Sculthorpe now, just back in the side after suspension, and he picked up a bit of a knock in training this week apparently. He was a little bit doubtful. And that is the youngster, James Coyle. Flicked the ball away, but great Leeds defence once again.
Well, you talk about nerves, Eddie. It was James Coyle that collected the kickoff from Sinfield, just bobbled a bit in his arms, but he made sure of possession. It's all about getting off to a very good start when you're making your debut. And in front of this huge crowd, it's not easy. But defence like that will lift them. That is super stuff.
Great stuff from the Wigan Warriors there. Sculthorpe very quickly leading the way. This is Danny Ward, and Hansen in quickly also with Jerome Guisset.
Little doubt in my mind, Ian Millwood has sent out the message that we will get right into the faces of this Leeds outfit. They're going to tough it out.
Great offload though by McKenna to Rob Burrow. Couldn't get away from Coyle, or indeed from Dennis Moran. It's Duneman now to Ward, and here is Gareth Ellis, and he gets Leeds over the halfway line. Guisset had hold of him. This is the last tackle, this opening set of 6 for Leeds, and they spin it wide. This is where the danger is. Senior and Marcus Bye. Marcus Bye will come in field, has to disentangle himself from the legs. Oh, risky flick pass to Sinfield. Back it goes to Duneman. They're back on halfway, and the kick downfield from Duneman, and Brian Carney, the Great Britain international, is after that.
Great play there by Duneman. Not only that, he could see that his captain was in on all sorts of trouble. Sinfield had to run back for a bad pass from Marcus Bye, but Duneman made sure he was in a position so that he could pass the ball backwards. It wasn't a bad kick in the end.
Danny Tickle now for the Wigan Warriors. 0-0 here. In the opening exchanges, Terry Newton with a good run up the middle, halted by Andrew Duneman and Chris McKenna. Danny Sculthorpe is the man in at dummy half. It goes to Coyle, and he hammers the ball downfield, and that's not a bad kick. Oh, and Richard Mathers just manages to stay off the whitewash over there. A real balancing act.
Took a huge gamble there, but shifting the body weight on the left leg, got away with it. Nice little kick as well from James Coyle.
Keith Senior plays the ball to Duneman. This now is Gareth Ellis.
A lot will depend on this Wigan outfit. Discipline. You can't afford to give away penalties to this Leeds side, and he's coughed up the ball.
He has to Liam Botham, and Liam Botham puts Wigan on the front foot suddenly. This is Newton who gets it to Sculthorpe, and Danny Ward and Bailey, but he still gets the ball away to Newton. This is Coyle, and that there is Dave Allen.
He really got crunched there, did Chev Walker. It was a pass that was never on.
This is Terry Newton. He's halted by Sinfield. And also there was Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Coyle is the dummy half. They go to Sculthorpe, flick it back to Tickle, but there was a reception committee in the shape of Danny Ward waiting for Tickle. Now Newton. Newton with the flat pass to Dave Allen. And he is held by Bailey and McKenna. There's Newton again, scheming from dummy half. He threw the dummy. He's looking for Sculthorpe, but the Leeds defence was alert to it. And here is Sculthorpe now trying to stab the ball through, but it's easily picked up by Danny Ward.
Well, I think Ian Millwood, the Wigan coach, will get the message out and say, come on, Danny, you are not there to kick the ball. You're there to take up the hard yards and offload.
This is Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
Just shows
Sorry, it's Chev Walker, I beg your pardon. That's Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
Just shows you the indiscipline with Wigan there. Just got a little bit lost. Not the experience, and that's where they've got to look towards Dennis Moran, of course, and from the hooker, Terry Newton. Be a big ask from those two.
Ryan Bailey on the last tackle, plays the ball to Duneman. Here is Rob Burrow. Oh, and he's picked up by Moran. Oh, but Moran turned him, and that's a penalty.
Well, he apologises straight away to the little halfback, and Beep gets up after being driven fair and square into the ground. Well, maybe square, but not fair. Very dangerous. He knows it too. South Stand not too happy.
Eddie, Wigan have a big problem. Terry Newton, who's central to any chance they've got of winning here today. He's been injured now twice. He's received treatment from the physio. They need him to shake that off to have a chance.
Yes, he looks like he's had a bang on the left hip. And this is Duneman. Now it's with Walker. Oh, he goes round one challenge. But in the end, they muscle up and halt him. Duneman over the head of McKenna to Bailey. Oh, and in front of Burrow, and it bounces untidily to Richard Mathers. And Mathers trying to get away from Coyle, gives it to Gareth Ellis. He will drive it up the middle, and the leg's still going from Ellis. He gets to within 10 metres. That's great play from the loose forward.
Leeds are trying to kill Wigan off very early. They're not interested in the kick. They want to keep it alive.
Sinfield's pass. Good defence on that far side. No way through for Mathers. He plays the ball. This is Marcus Bye. He flicks it on. They're keeping the movement going with Sinfield over in the far side.
Surely the little grubber now into the in-goal area.
This is the last tackle. It's with Duneman, and Duneman will hoist the kick wide, looking for Calderwood or Walker. The ball bounces back. Was that off a Wigan hand? No, it's still the last. A dab over the top from Burrow. And the ball finds its way into touch. It will be a scrum down, 10 metres away. Let's go to Dave Hadfield on the press benches. And Dave, time for you to give us your thoughts on the man of the match tonight.
Well, we don't know much about tonight yet, Eddie, but I think Ali Laurititi's 5 tries at Wakefield might have got in the nod last week. Says a lot about the stability in this Leeds side that he's still only on the bench today. Mark Calderwood is bound to be under scrutiny, as any player is when it's known he's leaving at the end of the season. And Wigan are one of the many possible destinations for him. They've got a very patched up look again tonight. Liam Botham coming back to Headingley as a centre, and James Coyle making his full Super League debut at scrum half. It's going to take something really special from several Wigan players to get him through this tonight, I think.
Sculthorpe with the drive forward. Terry Newton from dummy half. Gissé carries the battle forward. Chris McKenna with the tackle. This is Newton. He looks like he might have shrugged off that injury. The flick pass sticks in the fingers of Moran. Moran's ball, though, is on the bounce to Kevin Brown. Last tackle here for Wigan. Coyle wide to Moran, and further wide and then lost. Carney's after it, but it was a knock-on. It'll be the turnover.
Well, they're certainly not overawed, are they, Wigan? They're trying to keep the ball alive as well. And talking about upsets, just been given the information that Bangladesh has beaten the Australians. And that really, Eddie, is to be one of the biggest upsets in sport for quite some time.
There'll be some crocodile tears for the Australians, I'm sure.
I'll get my hanky out now.
This is Ward. And if you've left the cricket after that and you've come to join us here on Sky Sports 3 for the Leeds-Wigan game, it's 8 minutes old and it's 0-0, and Wigan are muscling up well in defence. We have Brian Noble, the coach of the Bradford Bulls, with us. Terry Newton has gone off, by the way. That, Brian, is a massive blow for the Wigan hopes.
It's a huge blow because he's a big player for them in many ways, and he'll be organised. I think he was the captain tonight. They'll be trying to fix him up and get him back out there as soon as possible. I think this game tonight is as much about Leeds' mentality as it is Wigan's. Wigan's, you know, they've got no worries. They can go out there and just play, and with a lot of enthusiastic young people, you can already see the Ian Millward stamp. There'll be plenty of running out of dummy half and plenty of playing from there, but the loss of Newton really does affect them. I think it's about Leeds' mentality, because if they stay focused, then I think they'll come away with a comfortable win. This weather will take its part, so you can't make errors in this weather. You've got to complete the lot. This
is Duneman now, and we can get in a moment or two some news of Terry Newton, but while Leeds are in this position, just let's stay with it here while Mathers is found by Burrow. He then hands it on to Walker, and Walker trying to muscle his way to the line, but Wigan come back in numbers, haul him down. Mathers to Ryan Bailey. Here is Duneman, and Duneman just delaying the pass. It goes wide to Gareth Ellis. Oh, Ellis slips the pass back to Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Wigan doing well in defence. Dave Allen again could play the ball. Duneman trying to pinch one himself on the last. Ball comes out. It went forward, so it'll be the turnover. And let's get down to Bill Arthur on the sideline. News of Terry Newton's injury, Bill. No sign of Bill for the moment. We'll just check out that everything's plugged in over on the far side. Here is James Coyle again. Gets the ball away to Harrison Hansen.
Pretty solid defence as well by Wigan. They'll be pleased with that. They're really put under the cosh.
And Danny Ward just had a slap then at Coyle. Caught him in the face. The youngster went down.
I think it's been a great start from Coyle. You know, he's put him under a lot of pressure. They've got up to him quickly when he's been in possession. Some of his kicks have been good ones when they've given him the ball. And that's a big start for the first 10 minutes in your career at Wigan. Hull away when they're top of the league. Well done, keep it up.
Wayne Godwin, the dummy half for the injured Terry Newton, and he gets the return pass from Sculthorpe. He finds Harrison Hansen, and Hansen goes to ground under the challenge from Duneman and Burrow. Here is Godwin again, and Godwin looking to go through the gap and does. Miss tackles by Leeds, but good job for them that Duneman was there. Now it's with Dennis Moran. He finds young Coyle again, who looks very promising indeed. Wide they go to Brown. They've got a three-man overlap down the right wing, and if they could have got the ball out, they couldn't get it there. But they'll go that way now with Coyle to Tickle, and Tickle looking to offload and then decides to hang on and go for himself. And a chance here for Aspinwall, and he's just held up short of the Leeds try line. OK, down to Bill. I think we've got him plugged in. Bill, news of Terry.
Well, there's a lot of concern on the Wigan benches about the fitness of Terry Newton. He hobbled off, clutching his left thigh. He got a bang on it early on, and he's gone straight to the dressing room, accompanied by the physio and the team doctor, and still hasn't returned as well. So, as you said, he is a key member of this Wigan side, obviously on a night like tonight, and he's obviously having intensive treatment in that dressing room at the moment.
Gareth Ellis for the Leeds Rhinos. This match being watched by a big crowd, and one or two famous faces in the crowd as well. And Geoffrey Boycott will be very well pleased, I think, with the news from Cardiff that Bangladesh have beaten the Australians. And as a Yorkshireman, he'll be pleased with this run from Ryan Bailey, who goes straight over the top of Kevin Brown, and Brown bravely comes back at him again.
Well, he got to credit the youngster Brown there. OK, he was beaten on the first attempt, but talk about sheer strength for the man. Ryan Bailey, I'll tell you what, there's been a lot simmering between Ryan Bailey and Danny Sculthorpe. That's going to explode very soon. They're both looking at each other. They're both trying to get to each other.
Mark Calderwood got a good tackle in then around the ruck. Calderwood, of course, the Leeds winger who has decided that he will be leaving the Rhinos at the end of this year, moving on to pastures new. Coaching has come on for Chris McKenna. There is Jamie Jones-Buchanan making the tackle. Last tackle here for Wigan. Moran's kick straight down the field, and collected by Mathers eventually. Here is Calderwood. Wonder where he'll end up at the start of 2006. Oh, that's a wayward pass to Chev Walker.
I'll just say, with passes like that, not in the Leeds first team, that's for sure. But it's made it quite clear to go to pastures new. Look, I know it's a huge loss, Wigan, Terry Newton, but I must say, since Wayne Godwin's come in, it's created a few problems for this Leeds defence. A couple of runs from dummy half.
It's a very encouraging start for Wigan, it really is. This is Sinfield. Couldn't get the ball away to Gareth Ellis. Took the tackle on the halfway line from Jerry Cucu and Danny Tickle. Rob Burrow thought about the long ball wide, went short instead and found Jamie Jones-Buchanan. This is the last tackle for Leeds. And it's with Duneman who'll hoist the kick. And Kevin Brown is underneath this. Richie Mathers is after him, he takes it well. Senior gets to him though. Flattens the Wigan fullback. And there is Terry Newton being tried to be patched up on the sideline.
What a beautiful kick though from Andrew Duneman. See it spinning awkwardly in the air. Something that they practice. Did well to Kevin Brown there. Remember, they've got sun in their eyes. See the shadows. Certainly an advantage to Leeds at the moment.
Moran tried to duck under the challenge from Walker, then couldn't get away from him. Here is Godwin. It's robust Leeds defence, but this Wigan side showing great spirit as they have all year. Just once they've been on the wrong end of a 40-point scoreline. That was at Bradford. This is Moran, and the kick downfield is straight to Marcus Bai, that's dangerous.
It's poor too. I think Millwood will get the message out. Look, come on, we've got to dissect the winger and the fullback. We've got to make sure that it hits the ground.
This is poaching now for Leeds.
Well,
he's
one player that Tony Smith knows can just lift it. There's another on the bench, of course, Alelautiti. And I think Danny Maguire's not a bad one to bring on as well. They've got so much depth, haven't they, the Rhinos?
Eddie, Leeds play a very attritional game and they're slowly wearing down this Wigan side.
Great ball. Burrows there with Jamie Jones-Buchanan. And there's the first try. Rob Burrow with the 4 points. Sinfield the initial break. Jamie Jones-Buchanan carried it on. And the shirt-sleeve crowd here at Headingley on a night when you would actually probably be watching cricket on the other side of the stands in years gone by. They appreciate what they're seeing here. And Burrow with the first try of the match.
He did well. It wasn't the best pass Sinfield, but he sucked in two defenders. Jones-Buchanan just drew the full back and beat simple four. Surely it'll turn into 6. Well, it's the first time that Wigan really have been breached, but it's quite easy when the fact that 2 men go for 1, and that's what they did. They went to the lead skipper, Kevin Sinfield, who's really in top form. It was a beautiful offload and good support as well from the big second rower, Jones-Buchanan. And as ever, this man's not having a bad season either.
Having a great season, and he's got a new 5-year deal as well. Safely locked away with Leeds in the past week. That's his 17th try in the Super League, his 22nd try in all this year. Rob Burrow, he really has taken the spotlight a little bit away from Danny Maguire this year. And here now is Kevin Sinfield, been playing magnificently all year, kicking well also. And he has added the extras from bang in front, and Leeds are ahead by 6 points to 0.
There's see Danny Tickle, come right in. Watch the gap. Beautiful stuff. Maybe a little bit of a doubt after seeing that in slow motion. Whether that might have been slightly forward. This is the conversion. No problems.
Rob Burrow, 22 years of age, England international. He got a couple of tries in the playoff defeat against Wigan here in 2003. They've met the last 2 years with the grand final on their minds, these two clubs, Leeds and Wigan. Of course, when it comes to grand finals, there's no one better qualified to talk about them than Brian Noble, who's looking for 5 successive grand finals this year. Brian, it's a great start by Wigan for all of the fact that they're trailing now 6-0.
But it really is about energy, Eddie. Leeds will play in bursts. They'll do the simple things at this end of the field and not try to make too many errors. In this weather, it can take its toll. And then they'll come to life over halfway. They'll use their big people and their fast people to try and explode through Wigan. Now, Wigan need to look after the ball a little bit better and take a little bit out of that leaf. It's going to be a tough ask for them in this weather.
Yes, it's a boiling hot day, the first real summer's evening we've had this year, and we're all delighted that it is as it is tonight. I don't know whether that can be said for the players, but they love their rugby league in the summer. A lot of people raised eyebrows when the game moved to summer, and Carney just watching it. Senior was hunting, but it has taken off, this sport, in the summer era, hasn't it? There's no doubt about that.
It certainly has. It was over the whitewash anyway when contacted the head of this fellow Brian Carney, but it just shows you the problems with that sun in the eye. Kevin Brown, he had no idea. It was a high kick, and they're good tactics by Leeds.
And of course Wigan will have the sun on their backs in the second half, and the sun will be setting even lower than it is at the moment here at Headingley. This is Godwin for Wigan, just inside his own half of the field. Coyle to see you, and Moran loses it under pressure from Duneman. Poaching grasps the loose ball.
There's always a chance of losing it when you play such a flat attack, and both sides are utilising that.
Chev Walker drilled into the ground by Stephen Wild. This is Duneman, now it's with Ward.
10 metres.
Duneman the dummy half. Rob Burrow and Kevin Sinfield. Finds Jamie Jones-Buchanan again. Oh, and he scampers away from a couple and back to 0 in the tackle count. Jamie Jones-Buchanan looking good on his feet. He finds Danny Ward, but needless to say, there's just one or two players just plodding about at the moment, trying to draw in the oxygen. It's now Poaching, and Calderwood has escaped the net. He gets the ball to Walker, and Walker, oh, they've just dropped off the tackle. And Chev Walker gets the second try. Well, fatigue will be the reason for that. Walker is a big man, but they just lost him at the vital moment, did the Wigan defence. And Walker, his 8th try of the campaign.
This was a 6 to go there. The little halfback James Coyle certainly got a fingertip to it, and then we saw a little bit of disco dancing from second row, Jones-Buchanan. Calderwood did ever so well, but that's poor defence. Good upper body strength from Walker, and you just get the impression that there's a bit of a problem. You can see there that Dennis Moran had gone for the intercept. It's always dangerous to do that. You know, he's an artful dodger when he gets to them, but if you certainly miss it, you put your side in a lot of trouble, and that is what he has just done.
You know, Wigan really need to be mentally tough right now. They need to show some character, because everything will be telling them, look, we've no chance here. Leeds are flooding forward. Newton seems to be coming back on here now, and that could be a lift for them. He is the main player on the side. They've got to hang on in there. They've got to talk positively. They've got to remain optimistic that there is some chance of a mistake from Leeds inside their own half. I think they'll look back costly. Twice they've been on Leeds' line, and on the 5th tackle, they've got no real benefit from it. Those were 2 mistakes when they got close to Leeds, but they've got to hang on in now.
Phil, take for instance last night, St Helens scored 2 very good tries within the space of 8 minutes. Okay, it's taken a little bit longer as Sinfield attempts a conversion.
And is successful with it. It's 12-0 here.
Now, Tony Smith was our guest, and I'm sure that he will get the message out now and say, hey, fellas, we are not going to do a St Helens and take our foot off the accelerator.
Can you imagine being in a cherry and white jersey coming up to halfway now, Eddie, and seeing that Ali Lauatiti has just come onto the field fresh. He's a fresh player coming on here now after 20 minutes, full of energy, wanting to show Tony Smith and everybody in this stadium just how good he is.
Well, he scored 5 tries off the bench last week, Ali Lauatiti, to equal the Super League individual record. And Terry Newton has returned for Wigan. That's a boost for them, but what a boost for Leeds in having a man like Lauatiti on your bench. 14 caps for his country, New Zealand, Lauatiti. And as I say, 5 tries against Wakefield last week as a substitute, 4 of them coming in a very quick spell in the second half. 11 minutes it took him to score 4 tries last week. Let's see what he does here tonight.
I've been impressed with the way that Leeds they're sharing the work. They realise it's very hot out there, so they can't really just give one of the forwards too much work. They're resting, they're coming in looking for the football. They're working as a good unit.
This is the last tackle here for the Leeds Rhinos. It's with Sinfield on halfway. He'll hammer the kick towards the touchline on this near side and finds it. Chris Melling, the young winger, on his 8th appearance of the season, just allowing it to bobble past him. But Kevin Sinfield, he is in great form this year. He's played and scored in all 20 matches so far for the Leeds Rhinos.
He's a brains trust, isn't he? He gets better as every season goes by.
And there is Sinfield with the tackle, and Keith Senior bringing young Chris Melling to the ground. Lauatiti, welcome committee for Terry Newton. Lauatiti again, but they get the ball away, both of them. Feeds it wide then to Carney.
Looks slightly forward, that pass there. They look a little bit lost, Wigan, at the moment.
They've lost so many generals this year.
Yeah, oh, that's very difficult. Well held there. As Godwin did exceptionally well under a lot of pressure.
This is Danny Tickle. Little hole opened up briefly for Tickle, but Chev Walker saw that the door was slammed shut in his face. This is the last tackle. And Coyle with a good kick downfield. But it bounces very kindly for Marcus Bai. The chase is enthusiastic enough, but Marcus Bai, the Papua New Guinea international, fearsome sight when he's coming forward like that. Here is Mathers.
Once again, we see Leeds, when they have the kick and chase in the opposition, you'll guarantee they'll go to the left-hand side. They'll swing it into a very tight position, and then they'll try the link.
Marcus Bai, good tackle by Coyle.
10 meters.
Duneman. Lauatiti brushes away from Aspinwall. Senior, great hands, Duneman. And Duneman, oh, Dennis Moran slipped. And Duneman over under the sticks. First try of the season for Andrew Duneman. And it was made easy for him, really, when Dennis Moran just lost his footing at the vital moment. First try for Andrew Duneman, who's done a magnificent job covering for the injured Matt Diskin.
And yet again, how many times this season have we seen him work that short left-hand side line? But what a wonderful step and a run on the arc. Andrew Duneman, the big fella Lauatiti, far too strong. Senior offloads. See how he curves and then curves round again, and the step was sufficient. That is a great try. And the crowd are happy with that. Plenty of white flesh. Won't be that white by the end of the... It's very, very warm out there.
I hope they've brought the sunscreen. This is Kevin Sinfield trying to convert the Duneman try, which he does successfully. And a timely first try of the season, really, for Andrew Duneman. Matt Diskin, the man he's replaced all season, who was injured in the Tri-Nations last year, began his comeback on Thursday in one of the lower grade sides. He came through it very well from all accounts. Not quite ready yet for Super League, but Duneman has done a magnificent job in his absence.
He certainly has. And it was a problem area that I thought Leeds would struggle this year, but as you say, Eddie, Duneman just slotted in as though he's played his entire career in that position. I mean, when they pack down, forget it. You don't have to be a hooker these days in that department, but you certainly have to be pretty brainy, running from dummy half, etc., and controlling things, and he's got a very, very good brain on his head.
And here he is again, Duneman. That's a great run. Wonderful run from dummy half. Makes 20 good meters there. There's Lauatiti, now Bailey. It'll be important tonight in this heat how the two coaches, how they revolve their teams and use their substitutions. And Maguire has come on for Leeds. This is Gareth Ellis. That ball was stolen. It's going to be a penalty.
No doubt about it, Danny Tickle.
Well, Dennis Betts has been through the mangle this year, and Ian Millward brought in. Things don't go for you when you're rebuilding.
And to be fair to the new coach, Ian Millward and Dennis Betts, they know that there's a lot of work to be done. and he's made it quite clear, and also the club officials have been quite outspoken in the fact that they are forgetting about this year, but don't think they'll forget about the league, maybe, but not about the cup. I think they may have the eye on that.
This is Burrow.
Oh, that was high.
Hansen took him very high.
Yeah. I know he stoops low, and probably that's the reason why he was saying to the official, well, he runs that close to the ground, but that was a lazy tackle.
They're running the penalty. Leeds, they're hungry for points here. They have a sensational points difference at the top of the table. They want to maintain it, indeed improve it, but they won't like that. And both of them have swooped for the Wigan Warriors. Calderwood gets to him though. Both of them who was here at Headingley until 2 weeks ago, trying to keep his career going at Wigan. This is Godwin. Short ball from Godwin to Terry Newton. Newton doesn't look fit.
Great work from Mark Calderwood there. Obviously Liam Botham, even though he's playing in the centres, he really hasn't got that explosive speed. Not standing square at the play the ball area. Now Wigan need to push this right into the corner. No, they've gone for the tap.
Well, it's with Sculthorpe, it's a good run. He's got the ball to Melling. Burrow and Mark Calderwood get him. Here is Sculthorpe. Jerry, see you. Suddenly Wigan are running with vim and vigour here. Godwin, Dennis Moran. Here's Kevin Brown. That's Danny Tickle. And that was an important tackle.
Unbelievable there.
Danny Maguire with that. And Newton to see you. He is Godwin and he is enveloped by Walker. Now it's with Stephen Wild. Stephen Wild for Wigan, and he's hauled down. It's Terry Newton, stabs the ball to the in-goal area. I think Dennis Moran's come up with a try.
He'll go to the screen. He didn't have a good view of it there, Ian Smith. Neat little kick through though from Terry Newton. He was alert. To see if he's he's offside.
Looks on that as though he's just a touch in front.
I'm afraid he's just in touch in front, as you say, Eddie. Well, it deserved one. It was a beautifully weighted kick. Made sure that it went between Poaching and Sinfield, which it did. But I think you'll find that Moran is... Well, he got it down.
He hasn't even touched it down, has he? That went off his knees.
Well, he certainly has his hand just lazing over it, whether he gets a fingertip to it. But I think they're checking for the offside. And as far as I'm concerned, Moran was in front. No, it's a knock-on. Well, as I said, the kick was good. It deserved a try. It's head out to wide. There'll be a tap on the 20.
Here's the decision from the video referee. I think we all know what it's going to be. And it's a 20-metre restart.
Well, Wigan really needed that.
Steve Presley, the man who's making the decisions in the video referee department tonight. He got that one right. Half an hour gone, 18-0.
Eddie, you make it sound as though he gets them wrong.
Not at all. I'm just stating a fact. He got that one spot on.
It was just your tone of voice. He's lost it. Play on. No advantage. This will be Wigan head and feed.
And Willie Poaching, I think, needs some attention because the blood is pouring from a split eye. No wonder he lost the ball.
Ooh, it really collided there, didn't it?
I think he needs a stitch or two, but he will be back. Willie Poaching, he is a tough hombre. And he's a very important weapon in the Leeds armoury, by the way.
And so is a man that's just running on.
Big Barry McDermott.
Hear the crowd here. Barry, they love him, don't they?
Well, he's an ex-Wiganer, of course. He came here 10 years ago in a £100,000 deal. Big money in those days. But Barry McDermott now is an adopted Yorkshireman. He certainly is an adopted Leeds Rhino. There's no doubt about that. And the penalty here for Wigan because he was tackled, the referee shouted held, but Leeds continued to pull him to the ground.
Sorry, Eddie, Yorkshire men do not adopt anybody from outside of their county.
They've adopted Barry McDermott here.
No, they haven't. They may be nice to him.
It's a temporary visa, Eddie.
So Wigan with a penalty, and Brown restarts. Oh, and that was a neat pick-up, to be fair, by Sculthorpe. He offloads to Newton, who offloads to Harrison Hansen. It's a test here of this Leeds defence now. Wigan have been camped down there for a minute or two.
Well, it'll lift their spirits if Wigan can get over the whitewash. They need it, and they know it.
And Newton just couldn't get the ball away. There was no support there. This is Godwin, here is Sculthorpe, and this now is Liam Botham. And Leeds force him back, and he's lost it. And it's play on again. And here is Moran. Moran to Harrison Hansen, goes away from Duneman.
Well, surely, I think Senior got a hand to that. But a bit unfortunate, Wigan, it doesn't go back to another set of 6.
Now it's Danny Tickle. Wide they go to Carney. And the ball bounced off the Leeds man. But did the Leeds man play the ball? No.
Paul played the man.
Just to explain, if the Leeds player had made an attempt to get this kick through and it had gone out off him, it would have been head and feed to Wigan. As he didn't make a play for the ball and the ball played him, it's head and feed to Leeds.
Very flat attack again from Wigan. Plenty of hands touching the football, but there's no one actually moving forward. And in fact, by the time Brian Carney received it, they were all in one straight line. They give themselves a little bit more room to move, stand a bit deep.
Burrow, oh, and he's broken the line, and Burrow is quick. Is he as quick as Carney? He's given it to Maguire, and Maguire gets away from Carney. But Carney comes back for the second effort, helped out by Dennis Moran.
Certainly saved a try there, Carney. Good work, but can he stop the big fellas?
Maguire again. It was Burrow's break that's put Leeds in this position. Sinfield, Burrow, who started it all, switches the direction, gives it to McDermott. McDermott clatters his way into Danny Tickle, and Terry Newton finishes McDermott off. Duneman, Sinfield, Duneman again. Showed it to Ellis, popped it over the top instead to Chev Walker. Walker comes back inside, bounces off 3, gets the pass away to Mathers, and Mathers! Wigan muscle up in defence, that's the last tackle.
Will they go the power play? I think they might.
Sinfield, Ellis, McDermott! Big Barry McDermott against his former club. And Wigan just ran out of puff and ran out of numbers then. McDermott gets his 5th try of the season, enjoying an Indian summer of a career here now. He's 32 years of age.
When he gets so close to the line, it all started from the wonderful run by Rob Burrow, but good work by Carney. He certainly put the pressure on him. When he was back on the inside, he got to Maguire, hit him with a high shot on the chest, came back with Moran, stopped him. But they ran the power play. That is superb hands, isn't it? Notice the way that Sinfield, when he gets the ball, see how he just pulls away onto Ellis. That is superb rugby league football. It looks easy, but it was well thought out. And when you're so far in front, you can afford, when you're close to the opposition, to use the power play. You don't have to rely on the little kick in there. They know they've got the opposition well and truly beaten.
22-0 it is, this for 24-0. And Sinfield adds the extras. The girls will dance and the crowd will celebrate. And during the break in play then, I noticed the iced towels were out for the players, the water carriers were out. It's very important, Brian Noble, that tonight the players are kept well hydrated.
Absolutely, we don't want anything dangerous happening to them. Ice towels, water, plenty of it, extra water carriers, and it's just Leeds. Wigan have got to put some cold towels on Leeds somehow. You know, in small bursts they've been doing really, really well, but for the 6 players, they've not managed to keep Leeds at this end of the field, and Leeds have too much explosion in their arsenal right across their park. As soon as they get down to the other end of the field, they look very, very dangerous, and just Wigan are losing that energy battle in this heat. They just need somebody to stand up now, and they'll need half-time. They need their coach to reinforce a few messages and get back to what they did at the start.
There's Ian Millwood. He won his first game in charge. He hasn't won anything since with Wigan, and it's worth saying that 11 months ago he was here with St Helens, and Leeds beat them 70 points to 0. Calderwood chasing the kick down, and there was no way out. No way out for Chris Melling whatsoever.
Well, he put himself in a good position, but it was a superb kick by the skipper yet again. Kevin Sinfield, as he has done all season, he's controlling things out there. Notice the backspin on that kick, made sure that the ball kept inside. Great work, winger on winger, nice to see.
Mark Calderwood has said he leaves at the end of the year, but he will give 110% to the Rhinos' cause between then and now. And here is Ali Lawatiti. The offload to Maguire, just behind Senior the pass, so Bai picks it up. Oh, Terry Newton gets hold of him. Terry Newton will not like to be on the end of this scoreline. Here is Big Barry again. Duneman, looping pass to Sinfield. He nearly dropped
he did well to keep hold of that. It's amazing, you know, Barry McDermott, obviously he can't do the full 80 minutes. They don't have to use him by that. It's as though that when they put him on the bench, they just plug him in, gets him full of energy, and then he's back out again.
Lawatiti, oh, Maguire was pulled back. Oh, the referee hasn't spotted that. Maguire was being pulled back by the shirt. But they've got a goal line dropout anyway.
Well, I can't understand how the officials have not seen that. Danny Tickle, he had hold of the shirt of
Probably gives them a better position to attack from anywhere, though. A tap 10 metres out or a goal line dropout, either way, it's not going to be a pretty picture if you're staring at that as a Wigan player right now. Good depth from the kick-off, though, from both of them. Again, he's got some length on it. But when you have a giant like McDermott charging at you...
Well, I'm sure that McDermott has charged at Liam Botham a few times in training, but he hasn't really meant it in the past. He means it tonight.
You want to bet?
Not in training. Wouldn't want to put him out of the game, would he?
I've seen him at training.
This is Sinfield. Oh! Sculthorpe was a bit high on Ryan Bailey. The referee's happy that the tackle was legal.
I told you they've been looking for each other.
This is Burrow.
That's simmering.
Maguire and Mathers flicks the ball to Senior. Senior gets away from Newton. Oh, and a knock on by Kevin Sinfield.
The crowd thought he went backwards, so did Sinfield, but it's relief for Wigan, who will be very happy just to set this scrum down, take their time, play out the sets of 6 and the kick, and that should just about do the first half. But at 24-0, it's going to take some wonderful words of wisdom by Ian Millwood to try to resurrect this.
A lot of enthusiasm out there for Wigan, to be fair, and Carney will have plenty of it, but maybe, just maybe, on a night like this against a team like Leeds, maybe 1 or 2 more youngsters than you would want.
Well, they're being caught up in their defensive line, Wigan, is that, you know, 1 and 2, sometimes 3 are going for the ball carrier, and if you do that, well, as soon as they offload it, there's the gap.
Eddie, it's not about age, it's about ability.
You really believe that?
Of course it is. It's not about how old you are, it's whether you're good enough, and obviously at the moment Wigan players aren't good enough. 24-0. Scoreboard tells you the story, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's no excuse. You are a paid professional. I think we made the point, Phil, at the early part of the season when, you know, everyone was saying, you know, Wigan have got so many injuries, they've got their all young kids. You know, these young kids were playing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games on the trot. And if they haven't started to improve from then, they never will.
Look at the pack there. That's not a young pack for Wigan.
No, it isn't, but there are quite a few young players out there. Danny Tickle is a young player. I was going to say he isn't one of the inexperienced hands, and neither is this fellow, Brian Carney. It's a good run from Carney.
Well, he's done it before on this field.
Yes, he has. 2 memorable tries in the playoff a couple of years ago. That'll do for the first half. The players will be delighted to take the quarter of an hour break as they go into the... I hope they've got the air conditioning on here at Headingley, and they go into the cool dressing rooms, and the referee and the touch judges need a breather as well, because it is a sweltering night here in West Yorkshire. Hope it is wherever you're watching as well. Hope you're enjoying this. If you're a Leeds fan, you will be. If you're a Wigan fan, maybe not so. But the Rhinos, the champions and league leaders, are ahead by 24 points to nil at half-time. Sweltering night at Headingley, and Leeds ahead by 24 points to nil against Wigan Warriors. Now then, I mentioned him a couple of times in the first half. Matt Diskin is on the comeback trail, and here he is talking to Bill.
Matt, this must be impressive to watch, at least from a Leeds point of view.
It is at the moment. I think the heat's having a big effect on both teams, and at the moment we're building a lot of pressure, and it's bearing fruition for us. We're taking the spoils at the moment.
Surely as it goes on, it's going to get even more draining for Wigan, isn't it?
It is. I think they're going to pull something out of the bag at the moment, and they are capable of it. They had some pressure on our line in the first half, and we held out. I thought his defence were outstanding. That's got us in the position we are at the moment.
Quick word about your fitness. You played in the under-21s Thursday night, first game back since your knee injury. How did things go?
Went okay. I was blowing a little bit. Felt like I'd lead in my boots at times, but it was just good to get lace a pair of boots up again and get myself out on the field.
First team again soon?
A couple of weeks, hopefully.
There we are. There is a message there for Andrew Duneman. Matt Diskin is knocking on the first team door again. And that is almost guaranteed to make sure that Duneman stays on top of his form. Wigan trail by 24 points to nil at half-time. They're about to get the second half underway, courtesy of the boot of Danny Tickle. Any hope, Steve-O?
I don't think so. They will have the advantage, of course, as the sun dips down. Leeds are running into it, so there'll be a lot of high kicks, one would assume, from Wigan. But they've got to get this defence sorted out. They've got to do one man-on-man, not 2 and 3, because Leeds they're very adept at turning in the tackle and offloading.
Well, there'll be no charity for the Leeds Rhinos, or rather by the Leeds Rhinos for Wigan, because Wigan in the past, if you look at the record books, they have dealt some fairly hefty blows on Leeds as a club in various competitions. So I don't think Tony Smith will have said to his players, look, let's just ease off, take the foot off the gas, think about next week in the cup tie against London here. They're going to push away for more points in the second half.
That was much better defence. They've gone back to a marker rather than a sliding defence for this second half. Obviously he's changed things. Great take there by Kevin Brown, it had to be. He didn't have a very good first 40, but he wasn't on his own.
This is Chris Melling again for Wigan, halted by Duneman. There's Terry Newton and Danny Sculthorpe.
Ooh, that was a spinning arm again. I'm telling you.
He's hit his own man, though.
I think he has.
I think you're right there, Phil, but it was a real swinger, wasn't it? Bailey and Danny Sculthorpe are really into each other.
This is Jerry CUCU as Gareth Ellis receives treatment for a special from Bailey.
Well, I'm not so sure. I think Bailey made contact. I think it may have been a stray shoulder or elbow.
This is the last tackle. This is Coyle with the kick into the corner, and Mathers is after it, and the Leeds full-back takes it brilliantly.
And it looks like Ellis is okay, but he's certainly got a bad knock.
This is Calderwood.
Release it, Jerry!
And now Marcus Bai nearly broke the line of defence. Calderwood. Speed to burn Calderwood. Aspinwall with the tackle, helped out by Coyle.
And again, we're seeing very early in this second half. Nearly 2.5 minutes have gone, and Leeds going back to the ability of sharing the work.
Lauatiti here. There'll be no charity from Leeds because they've lost 4 of the last 8 home meetings with Wigan in Super League. That's a high hanging kick from Danny Maguire. Very well taken, but as soon as he did, Chev Walker's lost it. And he's lost it, but he went backwards.
Yeah, he did.
This is Liam Botham. Well, Melling lost that, but he went backwards, says the referee. That's why Wigan have the possession still.
What a tackle, though, by Chev Walker. Lined him up, just mullered him into the ground.
Jerry, get away!
Botham to dummy half. It's Sculthorpe. And Sculthorpe
At it
surrounded
again.
by 3.
At it again, these two. Oh, that was a headbutt. Oh, it's on. I knew it. I picked it out in the first couple of minutes. Well, I think Leeds have been badly done too. I just had the suspicion that Danny Sculthorpe was the one that just nudged the head forward. Well done, Ian Smith, the official. Otherwise, he'll be in there. Let's see. Pretty hard from this angle.
Well, I think they were both at it. But Danny Sculthorpe ought to be careful because he's only just back from a 2-match ban.
Yeah,
And the last thing Leeds want to do, I suppose, is get to drawn into a slanging match.
Yeah. I'm sure that
Makes for good viewing there, doesn't it?
It's all right up here. I wouldn't like to be down there. Newton and Coyle. Oh! Lauatiti got him high, says the referee.
no doubt about it. Lazy tackle, swinging arm. Lauatiti goes over and apologises to James Coyle.
You have to pass a few tests, don't you, if you want to play in the first team. And taking a bit of a big hit when you're young and you're just starting out in your career is one of them. He seems to do well. He's got back up onto his feet.
And on the 31st tackle, the ball is put to ground by this Wigan side. And it was Joel Tompkins who was the guilty party on this occasion.
Had a look.
But he saw Walker coming towards him.
Well, the answer to that, Phil, is in regards to that it's not tiddlywinks this game. It's rough and ready.
Let's go down to Bill. He's got news from the dressing rooms.
Well, it's the Wigan's perspective really on things, and Ian Millward would be furious about that situation because he wants his side to try and take a bit of the energy out of Leeds by playing the game down deeper in the Leeds territory, making them do a bit of work instead. And of course they had the opportunity to do just that in that occasion, and they dropped the ball. So that's what Wigan are hoping to do.
Fair enough. This is Lauatiti. He gets the ball away still to Duneman. It's fantastic the way he offloads under pressure. Now it's with Chris McKenna. He gets away from Sculthorpe and see you. And McKenna goes through another 2 would-be tacklers and another 2 almost. Great run from Chris McKenna. This is Duneman. Here is Danny Maguire. Fires the pass wide
open try.
Not very handsome.
Marcus Bai knows that was a golden opportunity. He did everything right apart from the length of the pass. Carney had gone fishing. He'd thrown the cast. But what a good run here from Chris McKenna. But again, I have to point to the very feeble defence.
Wigan have their head and feet at the scrum. And that was Coyle who gave it to Carney. Carney rumoured to be a possible target for Sean McRae in South Sydney. I don't know how true that is. You know what the rumours are like in this game.
Well, I'll add another one to it. I know that a certain rugby union club is showing interest as well.
What is it about Wigan, who they've attracted the rugby union a few times this year, haven't they, Brian?
I don't know, they may have an office set up there. Who knows?
Oh, and a hack forward. And Calderwood is after it. Calderwood gets it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You won't have to go to the screen on this one.
Try is given for Mark Calderwood. Said this week that he will be leaving the club at the end of the year. Can't agree a new deal. He hasn't scored in the last 3. That's his 16th try of this Super League campaign.
Try to offload in an absolute suicidal position there, Joel Tompkins. Kicked through by the centre partner, and Calderwood said, I'll have the forward. He's only touched the ball twice in the second half, the substitute. He'll learn from this very quickly. Tompkins knocked on one occasion, offloaded in a very, very heavy traffic. And I think you look at the cherry and white, and they're in the huddle there behind the in-goal area, and I think they'll be looking at the badge and saying, look, we've only got pride to play for now. But against this rampant Leeds outfit, the Rhinos are in no mood for taking the foot off the gas. That's the impression I got.
Well, Wigan, the last time they were here, a playoff place at Old Trafford was the prize. Leeds won 40 points to 12. Sinfield here adds 2 more points to the Leeds total this season, and it's 30 points to 0. But I think it is also worth pointing out that in that playoff game last October, 6 men wore the Wigan colours for the last time. Adrian Lamb, who's on and off the field like a little gnat tonight, taking Ian Millward's messages. Also Terry O'Connor, also Craig Smith, Nick Cassidy, Luke Robinson, and as it turned out, Andy Farrell, though we didn't know it at the time.
Phil, I'll pose a question to you. You're pretty close. You live in the area of Wigan there. Do you think that the disclosure by the officials and by the coach saying that we're not really concentrating on this season, we're building for next year, do you think it's having an effect on some of the players out there?
Very good question. I don't know. I think maybe for the fans, they've had to do a bit of a PR campaign, haven't they, to try and buy themselves some time because the fans are disappointed. Another penalty there now going in Leeds' favour, ball being pinched out. And they are in a state of transition. Several rumours going around about players coming and players leaving, so it could have an effect. But for many players who've got the right sort of character and response, that would just motivate them to play even better and say, look, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to be part of this cherry and white club for the next 10 years, and I want to make an impression on it. Oh, what a ball!
Wonderful ball from Lauatiti, and great speed from Danny Maguire. Excellent try. Well, you like the biff and bang, Phil, and the fisticuffs from time to time, but that is sheer poetry.
It's world class, isn't it? And that's the reason why they bought him. Danny Maguire's maximised his potential because he's supporting a ball player who he knows can get the pass away, timed his run to perfection, and then skirted the fullback with just too much speed. And that's the difference between these two sides at the moment.
Tremendous stuff, Phil, isn't it? Well, I've got my teeth back in. I struggled with his name in the half-time. It is Lauatiti, and get it right this time, and Maguire. Again, the quality of being able to run on the arc. And the two halfbacks, Maguire and Burrow, they have this wonderful ability, you know, as they're running, they've got so much balance. It's pretty to watch, unless you're a cherry and white fan, of course. And in this heat, and psychologically, everything going against you, this is going to take a very, very big effort from Wigan to stop the rampage at the moment.
Brian, is it worth just trying to explain to the viewer how hard it is when Ali Lauatiti comes at you? His evasive footwork is one thing, the ball can switch from hand to hand. How do you try and stop a man like that?
And he's got a crane of an arm as well, Phil. That's a difficult thing with him. With his footwork and with his size, and he elongates that arm and he can hold the ball in one hand, which means he can project it anywhere at any time. The only chance you've got is you get a hand on the ball. Now the rules say in the tackle and close to your chest you can't put your hand on the ball, but when he's trying to offload and when he's trying to sling it there, you can. As a coach, what you say to your players is get close, get your hand on the ball, and I promise you the last thing he's looking for is to release it. But then you've got the big job because you've got a hand on the ball. Who's going to stop his legs? Who's going to stop his midriff that's going 40 miles an hour that way? Who's going to stop him when he puts the ball over the whitewash? It's a difficult ask, a real difficult ask.
I can remember, Brian, that when he came over midway through last season, you referred to the man carrying the ball as though it was like a peanut in his hand.
Here he is again. Here he comes again. Look at it again, the offload to Duneman. Senior now down the wing. Senior, blistering pace. Carney's after him. Moran's after him. Senior with the try for Leeds. Ian Millward, he knows it's transitional as far as he and Wigan are concerned this year, that he will not like to be on the back of this.
Again, the strength and the offload and the support, they are hungry. The fans are happy. They have got that trophy cabinet already filled. Last season they topped the table, they got the Silver Salver for that, and of course they won the grand final and the World Club Challenge. Sheer strength. Duneman just lurking around. I'll take it on. He's had a fine game as Duneman. Senior, get out of the way. Like swatting flies. He wants a four.
And this came direct from the kickoff.
Well, you talk about the ability for this man and holding it, but look at that. not the best defence. And you must point. Now, the lack of ability. Again, we often say, big man, why go for his upper body so they can fend him? Why? I've never seen any professional player with very huge ankles.
Keith Senior is just one try away from 100 for Leeds, and this is his 180th appearance for the Rhinos. It's not a bad return. Oh, and when Sinfield's in this move, Leeds can't fail. It's 42 points to 0, and it could be anything before the end of the match. Leeds next week take on London in the Cup. Their next assignment in the Super League is here against the Bradford Bulls on Friday the 1st of July at 7:30. It is live on Sky Sports 1. Brian Noble, you have to try and stop them.
It's a big ask. We won't be daunted by the task. In fact, we're quite looking forward to it. We've got a big game tomorrow against the informed Widnes Vikings. We've got to get that one out of the way, and that's by no means a foregone conclusion, but they're very strong here, aren't they? Look at them. Everybody's buzzing now. Everybody's flattened up. Everybody wants to carry the ball. Everybody wants to do an Ali Lauatiti and promote the ball as much as they can. But what's been really impressive about Leeds is they've done the tough stuff as well. They've managed to find some field position. They've managed to find a kick. And what Wigan have done, they've compounded the situation by giving the ball away in their own half. When it's hot, when you're on the end of a few uppercuts and a few jabs, that's the last thing you need to do. You need to find a decent set offensively and a decent set defensively.
Brilliant hands from Sinfield to Lauatiti, who gives it to Marcus Bai, who dumps it over the top to Richard Mathers. They are queuing up, and they offload to Maguire, over the top again to Marcus Bai. Wigan coming back bravely in defence and getting him down. That's the last tackle. 92 metres made. 8 more to the try line. On the bounce to Mathers. Here is Mark Calderwood again. It goes wide to Chef Walker, and Walker scores another.
Yep.
He hasn't given it yet.
But I think you'll find that he gets it down just before he hits a whitewash or the flag. Sheer strength. Here it is. And that is try time. Nothing they could do. Moran tried to get the contact. That's try time. No bother at all.
It's Steve Presley's decision. We await on the big screen, and another try is scored by Chev Walker. It's his second of the night, and they have shared the work around this Leeds side. We have seen 7 different try scorers on the field tonight for Leeds, and Chev Walker will be talking about this on Boots and All on Wednesday.
Certainly will, and it's epitomised the way that Leeds have played. Remember in the first half, after the first 10 minutes, I made the point that Leeds, because it was very hot, they were sharing the work. They weren't running one particular set of forwards, running them down. But when you've got strength like this, it's hard to stop. The momentum. Not the rule, but the momentum going forward.
Chev Walker, he got 5 tries in his first 5 games of the year, just 1 in the last 7 before tonight. That's 2 for him here. And Kevin Sinfield now, well, a perfect goal-kicking record so far, and his players are testing him out tonight. The last one was from this near side. This one now from the other side. Can he make it 8 from 8? No, he has missed his first kick of the night. But it's 46-0 to Leeds.
Well, we're posing the question, Eddie, before kick-off, that was it an insult to say that we're giving them 27-point start?
Well, they got it right and right again.
Eddie, I think that the 50-point barrier is a psychological one in rugby league, and if you lose by more than 50 points nowadays, you really are in a lot of trouble. I wonder whether confidence can ever come back to a side quickly once you've had that. I mean, they happen as a freak now and again, don't they, where a team rack up the points behind you, but only now and again. When you're consistently conceding that number of points, the confidence just evaporates out the dressing room.
Give us a go, Phil. We got touched up by St Helens by 60 a couple of weeks ago. Sometimes things happen for reasons. This team are rebuilding Wigan. Everybody will be wanting to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and there'll be some positive signs that Ian will take away from this. What they've got to do now is muscle up, stop this bloke for starters, and make sure that they finish the game intact. But you've got to close your dressing room, you've got to believe in yourself, you've got to live and you've got to learn. And if you learn something from your defeat, sometimes you've got to take a fall, Phil, to get better.
They still manage to get hold of the ball. Do they know it's a knock-on against Leeds? Senior flicked the ball in as he was going over the line.
Yeah, it should have been a scrum anyway.
And that was held by Marcus Bai, but the referee says knock-on.
Well, there'll be some relief because Wigan haven't touched the football for quite some time.
What's Tony Smith's main priority now? Keep Wigan at 0?
He'll look to finish the game solid, and probably it's really, really difficult. If players are on pomp, they're on top of their game. There's some world-class players out there, let's not forget that, who are finding plays that they don't normally find in tough games. He'll be looking for a solid finish, maybe a couple more scores, and what he'll be looking to do is that part if they've got the hunger stuff for that bit of the game. Can they still dig their shoulders into somebody and hurt somebody? Can they keep their line intact, is what they'll be speaking about as well. There's still a long time to go, 21 minutes, so all those questions Tony Smith will be asking himself.
Well, 3 fantastic tackles there by big men, on big men for Leeds.
10 metres.
Here is Dennis Moran, now it's Sculthorpe again, he's grounded once more, releases the ball, and Leeds have got the ball back in the shape of Chris McKenna. Sinfield, oh, see you, hit Jamie Jones-Buchanan without the ball then. This is Maguire. I think he thought the pass was coming, but it never came.
Yeah, and the touch judge has alerted the man with the whistle, rightly so, and I think he'll get 10 minutes here. We'll certainly put it on report, he was very late.
He might get 20, Stephen.
Oh, that was a bad one.
He might get 20 minutes.
Yep, it was a bad one.
It's going on report.
He's not going to go for the back pocket.
It's all the way they shot the shoulder. The man with the ball. Just put on the ball.
Crowd don't like it. They thought he should have been sent off straight away.
Head-high tackle off the ball by Jerry Siu, and Leeds have another penalty.
Well, we're going to the final quarter now, Eddie, and the biggest question is, can some of these Wigan forwards just keep their hands down?
Well,
is it payback time?
We mentioned it during half-time about discipline.
Yeah, well, Bailey and Sculthorpe have been at each other. There's quite a few scores to settle out there.
Here's Danny Ward. Ryan Bailey off the field at the moment, by the way. And Burrow flicks it to Lauatiti, who stutters his way in. This is McDermott! He's got a second! Big Barry McDermott gets a second. And 50 goes against the Wigan name.
Well, I don't know how long it is since Barry McDermott had a brand new watch round his wrist, but he's certainly got to be in the running there. He's been devastating. In hot conditions, you think the big guys would say, I'm having a problem. This guy, wherever they plugged him in, Mr. McDermott, the electricity certainly has been running through his veins, but what about the offload yet again? What an effort. He saw the gap. See how he goes low? Nothing is going to stop me. And he's right.
Great effort from Barry McDermott. Kevin Sinfield here to make it 52 points to 0 with this kick. 52 points to 0 it is. And everyone is having the time of their life at Headingley, and part, of course, from the Wigan fans, the Wigan players and the Wigan officials.
Well, Barry and his teammates might know that when these sides met at the JJB Stadium earlier in the season, it was within the last 20 minutes that the difference between the two teams was most evident. They piled on the points in the final quarter, and that's a worrying sign now for the Wigan players.
That was off Rob Burrow, but he managed to claim it. It came off his knees.
Yeah, it certainly did.
We've played 23 minutes of this second half. It's 52 points to nil in Leeds' favour.
But we've seen quite a few 70 scorelines already this year. And I reckon we might be looking down the barrel of another one.
Well, Wigan just can't get their hands on the football.
No.
Lautiti, senior again. Senior again. Off it goes to Marcus Bai. An important tackle by James Coyle. Here is Maguire. Now it's Burrow. Ellis. McKenna. McKenna dancing his way to the 20-metre line.
This Wigan defence is completely shot.
Maguire. Over the top to Mathers. Inside Siu. Wide it goes to Chev Walker. Here is Calderwood. There's another. Second try for Calderwood. They're scoring at will. They are scoring at will. And the Wigan public who have travelled over here will be desolate. And the Wigan public watching at home will be wondering what's happened to their team in 2005.
They're just not muscling up at all. Look at that. They allowed from dummy half, and then the full-back, Mathers just steps in and out. Walker says, draw the man, finish it off. No one applied any pressure on Maguire. It was so easy. And it is coming embarrassing now, I'm afraid. But things like this happen in any sport when a team is running hot, and I'm afraid your defence is as poor as what Wigan have displayed tonight. All that effort in the opening 15 minutes would have just absolutely soaked up the energy of this Wigan outfit, and they're just running on empty, Phil Clark.
Oh, they've gone, haven't they? You say what those fans would like to do. I bet they'd like to throw the beach towel over onto the pitch here now. The kick, well, just goes wide of the post.
Rob Burrow taking the kick because Kevin Sinfield off the field having a breather. But 56-0 is the scoreline. Calderwood with the latest try. Wonder where he will end up next year, Mark Calderwood.
Well, Wigan have to utilise the sun, which is dipping behind them. Look at the lengthening shadows. They've got to get this ball high. The last kickoff was low. Got to think a little bit more than that.
I wonder if this will be the year that Wigan do not make the top six. Almost unthinkable. Really is. They haven't failed to make the playoffs since they were introduced in 1998. They won it then against this Leeds side, but wow, has the balance of power shifted this way?
Oh, it's been a massive turn, hasn't it? I mean, some people within the Wigan area, they thought when Ian Millward arrived with this charisma that he'd even get them to the grand final, but it was just too much, wasn't it? They weren't going to do it, and at this stage they're going backwards because the players out there aren't even playing to their full potential. I suppose their confidence is shot to pieces. You see quite the opposite with the Leeds players. Everybody's offloading. There's a player in a good position when he does that, and they really, really are on fire. But for Wigan, we've seen Kevin Brown here today, a shadow of his former self. They're not really firing as they can, and Senior again comes down the left-hand side.
Forward pass from Senior to Marcus Bai.
Well, that'll be some relief for the Wigan outfit.
To be fair to Kevin Brown, though, he's not a full-back, is he? Isn't he a standoff?
Well, the way the modern game goes, don't you play, you get out there, you play, the ball's in your hand, you try and do something, the ball's in the opposition's hands and you try and stop them. And so, you know, whether he's a standoff or full-back, in the last month or two he's played in both of those positions.
He certainly has lost that zip, hasn't he?
Here's Dennis Moran. He gets the ball away to the far side.
This is the first time I've seen Wigan in the Leeds half for, well, quite some time, I must say. Looking at that table, Wigan are on 14, Widnes are on 10. That's only 2 victories separating them.
Bradford, Widnes tomorrow. Brian Noble, you could help to send Wigan down. Oh, hang on, Maguire's away. Maguire's on his way, and Kevin Brown will not catch him. It's the second try for Danny Maguire. That's 60. club record defeat for Wigan was 58 points to 3 here at Leeds in 1972. The record books are being rewritten.
Sheer embarrassment, I am afraid. Look at way back. Some of the players just walking. They've lost the spirit. This guy hasn't. He's getting back to full fitness after a long delay with an injury. This has just been a training run in this second half. The defence is virtually non-existent now. And if they make the half break, you can virtually guarantee that they're going to score another 4 points.
The standing ovation that we just saw then was not for Danny Maguire, but was for Barry McDermott as he left the field, the adopted Yorkshireman.
Well, they may think about it after his performance. It's the best that I've seen Barry play this year. And he's playing like a 19-year-old. And we know he doesn't like 19-year-olds.
No,
he doesn't like the younger pups coming through and showing him the way, but he has played like a teenager.
Maguire's try, though, 62 points for Leeds. I was going to ask Brian Noble about tomorrow's match against Widnes at Odsal. If it all goes wrong for you, Brian, you put Wigan in the mix for the relegation?
No, certainly not. There's no guarantees. That's the noble thing about this competition this year. It's very, very competitive, and that's what we've been trying to achieve for 5 years, and now we've got it. We shouldn't all panic and all because a team we expect to be at the top isn't producing. They'll regroup. They've got to regroup. They've got no alternative. What else do you do? Go home? You can't go home with 10 games to go. They've still got plenty left to play for. I think they've tried to play too hard in the second half. They've made errors. They've given Leeds possession, and Leeds have done the tough stuff as well. You know, McDermott got a roaring reception because he carried the ball strong as well as scored a couple of tries. So sometimes it all gets compounded, like you give a penalty away there and you're on your own line again. Sometimes you try too hard to try and turn things around and it goes badly wrong for you.
Well, you should know, Brian, you lost the first two, remember? Everyone, not everyone should I say, I'll change that. Quite a lot of people were saying that, you know, Bradford were finished, but you fought your way back in.
Yeah, and then you get a reversal like we had against Saints. It's about keeping the faith. It's about knowing what you've got within your ranks, and let's not forget they do have a little bit of talent, and when the competition gets better, it's really, really important that you have your best players as best as you can out there week in, week out. That's why, you know, you pay the money. That's why you got a chunk of their salary cap out the joint with Wigan, and that's why they're probably struggling.
Danny Ward did brilliantly then. There was no one at home at the play of the ball, and Lauatiti has scored!
The big fella deserved that. He has been absolutely superb on this left-hand side. They just love it down the Rhinos. It's like two talisman. This fella running alongside on the same corner as Keith Senior. Good work, though, by Danny Ward. Even the prop forwards now, they are showing their skills, and none better than this man who squeaks through. Did well, they were very slow. Got confused there. And Lauatiti has created so many this evening. He said, I'll have one myself. Great work there from Danny Ward. So long an unsung hero, you know, the prop forward Ward. But talk about doing his work. But sheer quality and class, this guy has been second to none.
Do you know what it is with him? When he first came on the field, somebody hit him round the head. Remember, they were apologising to each other. Well, you don't poke a bear with a stick. He's turned up,
yep.
He's got all the skills, he's been angry, he's been driving the ball, he's been offloading. Leave him alone. If he's having a quiet game, leave him alone. Don't poke these people with a stick, otherwise you get the kind of performance he's coming up with now.
66 points to nil. Let's go to the press benches. We need to find out who the press have nominated as the man of the match. And for that verdict, we go to Dave Hadfield.
A lot of very notable Leeds performances tonight. Andrew Duneman's first try of the season, a reminder how well he's done the job in Matt Diskin's absence. Both centres have been very strong. Kevin Sinfield's been immaculate. But Ali Lawatiti scored 5 last week, just the one tonight. Very modest contribution until you think of all the tries he's set up. He's our man of the match for a terrific performance.
So Ali Lawatiti gets the Watchers man of the match.
And I don't think there'll be anyone will argue with that. Oh, see you, and it's getting tasty in the last few minutes. And this is where Ian Smith, the official, really has to clamp down on anything.
The ball in field to Rob Burrow. They hit 70. Leeds hit 70. Second try for Rob Burrow. And the referee hasn't given it yet. He wants to have a look, just to check whether there was a footing touch down the touchline here.
Well, it certainly was close. Marcus Bai, very close indeed, but I think he's going to be okay. No, he has touched it. This will be no try. Wipe out the 70. They won't give this. That looks on the whitewash to me. That one's all right. It's the last one before he offloads. And I think Leeds are fully aware of it. This will be no try. Wigan go to the 20 to restart.
Well, it's not the 70, not yet. Burrow is denied because Marcus Bai had a foot in touch. And it's a scrum down about 20 metres out from the Wigan line. The referee wants a word with Jerry See You.
You need to be very careful about your tackling. You need to be careful.
That is great refereeing. He's had a brilliant match, Ian Smith. Okay, when a runaway victory, we really don't have much to control because it's pretty one-way traffic and the flow of the game is somewhat what he can't control it. Not many controversial incidents, but it's great to see our officials that they realise that we're going to be frustrated, especially when they drop the ball yet again.
And here's Gareth Ellis. It was a decent enough pass from Liam Botham. What a return to Headingley for Liam Botham a fortnight after leaving Leeds. He's just on for Danny Sculthorpe. McKenna. It goes wide to Walker. Brushes one tackler off. Goes round another like he wasn't there. Tries to wrestle another one over his shoulder. Walker plays the ball to Maguire, going down the short side. Maguire to Calderwood.
They want that 70 badly.
And they've got 5 minutes and 15 seconds to get them. Rob Burrow. Big Barry, he's on a hat-trick.
That's the reason that Tony Smith has thrown him out there.
Maguire. Kick looking for Calderwood, but it's too deep, that.
Well, that surprised me. That Maguire has actually gone for a kick. They've just been absolutely outstanding with ball in hand, keep it alive.
This is Kevin Brown, tackled by Gareth Ellis.
It's amazing there. Danny Maguire, you know, he puts boot to ball.
20 minutes Leeds have been camped in the Wigan half of the field.
Well, the scoreline
in possession, that is.
Reflects that, Eddie.
They're still in the Wigan half of the field now, but the ball's not in hand.
Well, the point I was making, you know, Danny Maguire puts foot to ball, and the crowd here just grow. Aren't they satisfied with 66? Evidently not.
Coyle just lost it then, but it went backwards. And here is Harrison Hansen. And Senior spins into the ground on the last one. Coyle hoists the kick.
Oh, it's a high one as well.
It's a tester for Mathers. Oh, but he's been rock solid under them all night.
And this is where Leeds are very dangerous, because it's a very tiring Wigan defenders now, and they'll keep it alive.
Here's Chev Walker.
Well, the drum underneath us, and the chance of Barmy Army. It's a Barmy night, but it's a different Barmy that they want. He'll be happy. Job well done. And so will the man at the side of him, Duneman. He's had a great game too.
Danny Ward. Here is Burrow. Now it's poaching. Gets away from one. Oh, the pass is slipped. Carney's after it. Marcus Bai, though, has retained possession for Leeds somehow.
That's amazing, was he? Looked at odds on that Carney would get to that football.
The last tackle this, that's why the kick's high from Burrow. Kevin Brown's underneath it, no pressure on him. Oh! Drops it, it went backwards. Burrow makes the tackle.
Well, they'll be quite happy just to take it one out, Wigan. Eat up the clock. They want to get in the dressing room.
Aspinwall does that exactly.
Get a cold drink and just put it to one side. I'm sure that Ian Millward, the coach, will say, well, it's one of those things. Bad day at the office.
Well, 12 months ago, he lost 70-0 with St Helens.
It's another mistake. So there's been
you can see that as progress then, 66.
Different club, Phil, totally different club. Different set of circumstances, isn't it? I think we can safely say that Wigan are a team that is rebuilding for the future.
They've got no option.
No, not now.
And they
Have I
may.
asked you yet whether they'll make the 6, do you think?
They won't make the 6.
I wouldn't have thought before tonight that Wigan could not finish, you know, at least at 6th at the very, very lowest. But after what I've seen, maybe that might have changed. Calderwood just held back there.
But they're 20 metres away from the line with Marcus Bye and Willie poaching, and round the corner to Calderwood. Aspinwall and Brown do the tackling. Poaching. They come in field to Gareth Ellis. This is Danny Maguire. Here is Danny Ward.
They want to give Barry a run. He's yelling for it.
They're going the other way, though, to Rob Burrow. Drop the shoulder, Burrow! They've got 70 now. Second try, this time for Burrow. What a season this young fella's having. He was overshadowed completely by Danny Maguire last year. Hasn't he come back with a bang in 2005?
Well, it's unbelievable. They've got the 70. The crowd will be happy. Wigan will be very, very desperate. And they are desperate again. And Ian Millward will be looking through the video this week. And it will be a horror show because their defence has been nothing short of pathetic at times. Yet again, he's got low to the ground, gets underneath. The big 7-0 comes up. Surely it'll turn into 72. But you say that they're rebuilding Wigan. Will they be rebuilding out of Super League? If Widnes win tomorrow, there's only one. Oh, he's missed it.
Maguire has missed the conversion from bang in front.
But the point I'm making, if Widnes win tomorrow, they're only one victory away from dragging back Wigan. And if it comes down to points difference, and it may do at the end of the season, this 70 against them is not going to help them at all.
70 points for Leeds in consecutive weeks. There's the siren. 70 points to 0. It has been a massacre in the sunshine at Headingley. 70-0. They did it to St Helens and Ian Millward last season. They've done it to Wigan and Ian Millward this season. And Barry McDermott played his full part in a rip-roaring victory for the Rhinos. Although Ali Lauatiti goes home with the watch, he has been named the man of the match. Well, Wigan will try and pick something up from the wreckage as they go home again tonight. But here is Bill Arthur now with a very happy young man, the Leeds skipper, Kevin Sinfield.
That scoreboard must make very satisfying readings. 70-0 against Wigan Warriors.
Yeah, we're obviously pleased. I think the nil's a big thing for us. It's our first one this year in Super League, and that's what we're delighted with.
And that's 2 games in a row when you've really turned it on.
Well, we're looking for improvement every week, and we certainly got that this week from last week, and let's hope we can do it again next week.
Well, of course, the Cup coming up as well, and that obviously wasn't on your mind.
No, well, it will be now. I mean, I thought London were great yesterday against Saints, and they're going to be a threat. It's going to be a tough game for us. But after tonight, we'll really look forward to it and have some good preparation this week.
And it's got to be the perfect thing for your confidence. Not that you were lacking confidence.
Oh, it's nice. Wigan are a great side, and we've got on top of them tonight. I think the conditions have probably helped us a little bit. We kept hold of the ball, and we've got quite a few repeat sets. So we're very pleased, and hopefully we can kick on again.
I don't think your kicking duties are under any threat, though, Kevin. Danny hitting the post from right in front. I don't think Rob succeeded either.
Oh, you should see him from the touchline in training, Bill. They can't miss them two. I don't know what's going on tonight, but yeah, we're pleased, and hopefully we can keep it up.
Somewhere around here is, thanks, Kevin, is Barry